Hey guys, Steve Michael here, and today I want to talk about all the must-have little essential things that I carry in my kit on a set with me, and they're all under $100, very affordable. So let's just jump into it. First off, I have my belt pouch here. This is a Husky. I got this at the Home Depot. I think I paid about 12 to 15 bucks for it, and I really love this thing. You can get a lot in here. I actually have a couple that usually go around my belt. Which is very cool, but let's go ahead and take a look inside. First off, I carry a little cleaning cloth, and I do carry one of these little wands here to wipe off your camera. I'm sure you've seen them. They are pretty awesome. Next up, I like to carry an array of markers and pens and things in here. I carry a black Sharpie, a gray Sharpie, and I do have a dry erase marker, and usually I'll carry a pen and a pencil in here as well. I actually took those out to use them. And next you need a really good multi-tool. Now again, this one is from Husky. I think I paid about 12 to 15 bucks for this. It was very, very cheap, but I've had this thing forever and it is just a beast. And it has all the essentials that I could possibly ever want or need. Next up, we need a set of these kind of Allen keys here, and these are actually from Target. And the reason I bought this over buying the red multi-tool is because one, that's like 30 bucks. Also, these are super, super thin and super, super small. And you can just put them together and slide them in the pouch. And you have your star, you have your American set, and you have your metric set. And these are fantastic. These have every possible one you could need. The problem with the red tool again is I think it only has like two or three of them. It doesn't have every single one, and sometimes I find that not everything is universal. Sometimes I need a smaller one or a bigger one to adjust whether it's a tripod or something else. So really love these. They're very, very useful, and everybody should have a set. Moving on. I like to have a little box cutter. True, I have the multi-tool, but sometimes I don't want to whip out the multi-tool, so I have this very thin little Husky. It has a belt clip, and it's just a very quick box cutter. I really love these. I think I paid maybe $6 or $7 for this, but it is a very quick, nice, lightweight tool. And it also slides in very easily into a pouch with the Allen keys here. Next up, you will need a good flashlight. Now, this is a Walmart special. They do not make this anymore, but I do love this brand, and I will post the brand in the link below. But I really love this if you want to do lens flares into the camera, or you're working in the dark. This is an absolute must-have. Something small, something lightweight, something bright. Next up is, of course, and I should have done this with the cleaners, but these are these Zeiss wipes. You can get these at Walmart for like 10 bucks for 100, and I use these for everything. They are fantastic, great for cleaning your lenses, and a must-have. And lastly, on the inside, I have these Twisty Ties. Now, I absolutely love these Twisty Ties. These things are all over my house. They're tying cables, they're on my tripod, they're just everywhere. You get about 6 or 8 of these in a package in the TV section where they keep the TV cables at Target, and they're just under $5. They have the thick ones and they have the thin ones. The thin ones are actually my favorite, but unfortunately the thicker ones are the ones you kind of always find. But they are both very, very useful. I absolutely love these things. I have covered these things before. Very useful around set for holding cables or whatever, creating slack, cinching cables, you name it. You could do it with these. These are fantastic. And I do like these over those kind of like Velcro little straps that come in a little roll, and then you kind of unroll it and punch out the hole and Velcro it. Those tend to not hold as well. These hold extremely well. They're rubber and they've got metal inside, and they last a good long time. And lastly, in the front pouch, I like to carry these little screwdrivers. Now, I have a flathead and a Phillips head. They are separate, of course. Now, some people have the ones that are ratchet, have the little switch on them. I don't like those for 2 reasons. One is because that little knob tends to get bumped or switched, and then you're tightening the wrong way and it's a pain to use. But also when I find that I'm trying to make something tighter, I actually unscrew the back and everything falls out. It's really, really annoying to me. So I like to have one of each, especially this one. And what I love about this is you can put a string around it, hang it around your neck, so it is easily accessible at all times. So that is what is in my tool pouch. And moving on to some extra things that I keep. First off, I keep some Cinefoil. I absolutely love Cinefoil. This will cost you about $28, maybe a little bit more, but it is just fantastic stuff. I avoided it for years because it was a little bit expensive to me. I finally bit the bullet and I got it, and it is awesome. I use it for everything. It is actually being used all around my studio. If there's any light leak on some lights, or if I want to shape some lights, this thing is amazing, and it just kind of holds its shape, and it's very, very cool. I use this to mask lights. I use it to actually mask my camera if there's sun, if I need a kind of like a little barn door to block off the sun. This stuff is absolutely incredible. So definitely a must-have, and it is fairly cheap. Next up is power, and I love these little power banks. This, of course, is the Atom Tech, and what I love about the Atom Tech is it's got USB, micro USB, and USB Type-C, and I primarily use this to power all my, like my Rode Wireless Go, or all my DJI little cameras like the 4K and the Action Cam, or just power my cell phone. These things are fantastic. Now, if you will notice that there is not a way to mount these unless you have some kind of clamp. And that's where the next item comes in, good old command strips. That's right, I like to get the Velcro command strips that are Velcro on both sides. I usually get the black ones just because they look nicer, but if you don't have anywhere to clamp this, all you have to do is peel this off, stick this here, stick the other end on your tripod or cage, and you're good to go. Now, one thing I will warn people is don't be careful putting these on walls, because they do peel off paint. It says it doesn't, but it does. You have to peel it off really carefully if you're going to do that. So just know that really I just use these for gear. I'm not going to be using these for putting it on walls, because that's a little dangerous. Next up, I have my row of tape here. Of course, I have the very invaluable gaff tape. Everyone should have gaff tape. This stuff is amazing. I also carry duct tape, masking tape. I also have my electrical tape here, and usually on here I also have some colored tape for markings. And then lastly, I do have those Velcro ties that I was talking about. These you just kind of peel, and they kind of have the strap here, but I hardly ever use these because one, they're not as tight as using something like the wire ones, which I absolutely adore. And if you notice, I do have this very strange tie here, and these are something else that I like to do, and you can pick these up like at Big Lots or a more like value store. It's kind of a value brand of what you find at Lowe's or Home Depot, and this is the One Tie, and these are fantastic. I use them for holding my tape here. I also use these for tying up big, thick cables like on my Godox, and they really are fantastic, and you get two, and they're fairly inexpensive. So love these. And then lastly, one thing I always like to carry in my kit is a tape measure. Now, I like the Fatty Max version because this thing can extend really far, and as you can see, it does not bend, so you can actually measure things yourself. I know guys who have contests to see how far they can get these to extend before it bends. And as you see, it went way past the camera into my editing bay, and it is not going to bend. This is a 16 inch. This is really all you need. This is great for if you want to measure focal distance from the camera, or you want to see if a set piece is going to fit. Really, a tape measure is very important to have on set. So that's it. Those are my very, very top things, top tools that I like to have on set. Let me know in the notes below what you have in your kit and what's your essentials. And if you have any questions or comments, of course, you can always leave them in the notes below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to mash the bell button to be notified when we drop a brand new video. I'm Stephen Michael Zach, and I'll see you in the next one.